Hi everybody, it's Barry Chandler here, and we got a question during the week from one of our members of our subscription websites, and they posted a question on thebarblogger.com/askbarry. The question was a little bit vague, but what they wanted to know was, they've got two staff members. This particular bar owner has two staff members who've been with the bar for about 20 years, and he said he's tried everything to train them, but nothing's working. He said, I think he's taken over the bar recently, and he wants to know, what are the possible fallouts if he's to get rid of these staff members. He's worried about it because it's a small town, they've been there for so long. Now, we don't have all the details of exactly why he wants to get rid of them. Maybe it's because they can't be trained to meet his goals, which we mentioned in the previous video. It's very important that your staff are on board to meet your goals. But in any situation like this, you've got to ask yourself maybe 2 or 3 questions. The first question is, what's the cost to you to keep these staff members? So number 1, cost to you. How much is it costing you to have them in the business right now, and is that contributing to why you want to get rid of them? Is it because you're suspecting theft? Is it because you don't think they're on board with your goals? So ask yourself, what's the cost to you to keep them? The second question you need to ask is, what would be the benefit to the business, both in terms of productivity of your other staff members, of you, and profitability of your business if you were to get rid of them? So number 2, profitability and productivity if you're to get rid of them. And then the third question to ask yourself really is that, what do you think the biggest amount of fallout could be from getting rid of these staff members? Is it that you're afraid that the local trade will follow these staff members if they go to a different bar, maybe to your competitor's bar? Is it that you're afraid that they know how to run the bar and nobody else knows how to run the bar? You've got to ask yourself that. Number 3, possible fallout. But as we said in the previous video, fire or focus your staff. Once you answer these questions for yourself and you know what's most important to you and what's affecting your bottom line, is it to get rid of them or to keep them? Once you have that answer for yourself, then you need to work out if you're going to fire them. You need to make sure you've got a paper trail in place. If these staff members can no longer be part of your business because they don't meet your goals, they're not following your rules, they're not following the handbook, you need to make sure there's a disciplinary procedure in place where there's whatever is the legal norm in your jurisdiction, you've got to be following that. If that's a written warning, a verbal warning, and so on, you've got to make sure that's in place. If you want to keep these staff members because you feel that, you're better off with them, then you've got to make sure they're on board with you. If they're not on board, then they really shouldn't be in your business. So, although we didn't have all the details, I hope that kind of focuses you a little bit more, on what you need to consider before you get rid of those staff members. So look at number 1, the cost to you to keep them. What's the problem in the business and why is it that you want to get rid of them? What's the ultimate cost to you? Number 2, what's the potential profitability if you did get rid of them? The profitability, both in terms of fiscal profitability and in time and morale profitability in your business. And number 3, what's the fallout? What's the worst case scenario if you got rid of these staff in the morning? What's the worst case scenario that could happen? It mightn't be as bad as you think. So answer these 3 questions for yourself, and then go to the video how to fire or focus your staff for the next step. So that's hope that answers your question a little bit more.